This one, Mortal Kombat 12, in a sense, we thought, okay, let's really start over again, and to the point where let's call it Mortal Kombat 1. So it's kind of like our fourth kind of new story.
Restart. Yeah,
exactly.
Game Informer shares a fun Ed Boon interview that possibly some people may have missed, or if you did catch it, there's just some massive gems in there that he shares. First of all, he's just being an absolute badass, and he's being real nice to us and sharing some in-depth information. And he even gives a shout out to Street Fighter, that he's like excited to be playing it and grinding that game a little bit. So what Ed Boon says that I really enjoy most, there's a few things that he does really say. One is that their whole essence of just going back to Mortal Kombat 1 instead of doing Mortal Kombat 12 based on basically a tradition. Like he shares some features and some exciting stuff. He says it's a tradition. He's like, if you go all the way back to sharing these stories in increments and renewing them all over again. He said like MK1 through 3, they had their own aspect, then 4 along with like Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon, they had their own thing, and then they also had an increment of 9, 10, and 11. He said that these stories kind of just end themselves and then they just rejuvenate and restart again, which is how they really keep it fresh. And I think that that's pretty cool how he said it like that, how they have increments of the stories. I feel that that's something that's attainable, and it's better, especially now in a multiverse type movie slash video game world. All that stuff can be caught in complications, so it's great that they always just introduce us to a renewal. He also states that he's incredibly excited that Mortal Kombat this late in stages is still like their later platforms, their later releases are some of the higher selling games thanks to Mortal Kombat 9. He really raves about Mortal Kombat 9 in that essence, and let me tell you, he ain't wrong, man. Mortal Kombat 9, one of the best games I've ever played in my life. Not fighting game, just best game, especially how they implemented a story mode, which then led to even more sales of MK10 and eventually MK11 currently, which is still a badass, right? It's a great game. So he says all that stuff, and I thought that that's really cool how he separated the increments, the renewals, and how they refresh it and do it all over again. Grabs inspiration from everywhere. And then there's another thing he also says that's pretty incredible in this interview that I felt I wanted to break down. He just talks about the cameos and it being the classics. He does confirm that cameos, there's going to be a lot of classics in there, and he confirms that there is sadly, it's both good and bad, right? Like some of them are just going to stay cameos, meaning that you're going to see some of the classic outfits on these cameos, on the characters, on the fighters, the classic type fatality slash cameo, and just all the old school things that we're really used to and what we rave about, that we really want. He's just going to keep it all in there, and it's going to be kind of good and bad. Like what I said, like it's going to be heartbreaking for us old school MK fans, especially because these characters are just going to be cameos. So it's going to suck when we see like an amazing, he said that there's going to be a huge roster of that cameo that's going to be have people excited, and I know I'm going to get excited because seeing that some old school people that are not really part of the primary story, it's exactly what he said. Whatever's not part of the primary story, these cameos are going to be part of. And so it's going to be both, like you're going to see these characters and you can't play with these characters, man. Basically is the primary, and that's going to hurt a lot of people, especially if we see some huge names from former games. But it's still going to just be good to see them in the vicinity again, although they're not going to really be part of anything, just a cameo. So he does say that. He does say that there's exciting cameos, and why they went back with the classic Sonya outfits and some of the classic Kano outfits and Jax. What he wants to do is keep MK1. The nostalgia is going to be more in the cameo perspective is what he's saying, and then the actual primary characters are going to be just kind of showing that brand new story, and hence how they had all those new backstories that just released on the MK1 website. Some of the finalized questions he does get asked in here is just essentially like, how is he bringing this fan base and keeping them on that long ride, including myself. I've been alive since Mortal Kombat 1. I'm old school. I'm a old school millennial. And he asks is like, how does he keep people for 30 years? What it all relates to easily is that they keep their arcade format, especially MK9. That game was just flawless almost, and they're able to just run with it, and then the replayability, and then them adding onto a story to keep retaining people. So one asset that he's saying, but he's being very humble about it, is that we just simply give back to our community what they want. What we want in community, we always want our fatalities, our combos, our fluidity. We want everything that a classic Mortal Kombat always entails, which is mature type gameplay also. Then on the other hand, the replayability factor. Not everybody wants to play just towers all day and compete against each other online. So now they have a more in-depth story mode and just all these types of achievements now as they continuously go down the line and find newer and newer ways to continuously play this game. And that's how he said they retain their audience. And I thought that was really incredible how he broke down all these points in this interview. That's basically the meaty part, the gesture of the full full interview, which is huge for us as fans, especially, man. He was real nice about it. Y'all gotta let me know what's up, man. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I appreciate y'all so much. What do y'all think? And are you excited for MK1? Have you pre-ordered? Let us know, man. I appreciate y'all. Have a good one. Peace.